Okay.
All right, welcome back, folks. It is a great time for us to be able to introduce you to an incredible outreach down in the Sarasota, Bradenton area. We are partners with Loving Hands. We've talked about them a couple times on the show. We've plugged in some events they have coming up in February. And I tell you what, it was ironic that today we're going to be recording this. My devotion, I'm going to share the scripture with you guys from 1 John 4:11. Says, "Dear friends, since God so loved us, we ought to love one another."
Mm.
And their organization embodies this. I have Debbi Hanna on the phone with us. She's from Beauty for Ashes. It's a women's home that reaches out to folks that are recovering from addiction and abuse and different problems. So welcome, Debbi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So awesome to have you with us. And first start with just some fundamentals. Give everybody a general overview of what you guys do and how you minister to folks.
Okay. Beauty for Ashes is a Christ-centered recovery home for women, and it's nonprofit, Christ-centered, and we just help women that are struggling, that have been struggling. It might be drugs. It could be just bad relationships, just anything that they've been struggling where it's brought their life to a place where they are no longer able to really care for themselves well and are having a hard time making choices. And so we are much more than a halfway house, really. We bring each woman in, and they go through first of all, a 3-month period where they're not allowed to work. That what happens during that time is that we are helping them to learn who they are in Jesus Christ, what the Bible has to say about them, about their lives, and how to use Scripture to help change the way that your mind has been looking at life. And so we spend the first 3 months, and it's really about focusing just on Jesus Christ and the ladies, and then what Jesus is wanting to do for them. And in that, we then try to get to the core. We do a study that's called Ditch the Baggage. And Ditch the Baggage goes right down into all the past hurts from the time that they were little girls all the way through their lives that may have started them in just faulty ways of thinking and led them possibly to drugs, to bad relationships, and just not knowing their own worth and how to meet life in a way that just produces what God gives us, peace and joy.
Folks, you can check out their website. It's a B, the letter B, B4, the number 4, B4 Ashes. .com, and you can see a little bit more. And I was really just impressed with how Christ-centric and how pure and honest the program seems. This is a very brutal world where people are just being consumed. I love that there was a short write-up done by ABC, and they had a quote from a young lady named Danielle, and she was very transparent about how she began smoking pot. Pot led to cocaine. Cocaine led to crack. I mean, we're on a slippery slope with so many different vices and sins in the world, Debbi. And isn't that what you see mostly from these ladies? They come to you and they don't even know how to pick up the pieces.
Absolutely. Many of them, I've been doing ministry at the jail for 9 years, and many of them have landed in jail by the time they're just at their really, really broken place where I don't know what to do. It seems like everything I do is wrong, and I'm at just the bottom. And so, yes.
No, I was just saying this is exactly what we need, though. And your home is new; it's a newer home, right? You're renting. Opened the doors in 2016, and during that summer, working with different 12 to 18 months. With different ladies. So transition a little bit on how you kind of help acclimate them. I know your program involves teaching them some skill sets, getting them involved now. You've got a cleaning service program, and you obviously mentioned constructions and office and like that. How we transition the ladies from that stage of recovery now into some skill sets and get them back into the world.
Okay, so first of all, we begin to look at their education, because we really do believe, too, that in this world that if you don't have a GED, the odds are so stacked against you. So right from the beginning, along with teaching them about the love of Jesus Christ, we want to find out if they have a GED. And if not, we begin working with them. We have somebody who comes in and tutors them within the home to get that. And then we begin with the job searches. And until we decided to open up the Beauty for Ashes cleaning service, it was always a struggle, that with some of them having records and other things, they just were having a really hard time finding work. So we thought, okay, we can open up a cleaning service that is for Beauty for Ashes women, but we can hire other people, but they will be first. And then we help them to prepare for their life after they do leave. It's a 12 to 18-month program. They're welcome to, we'll graduate them in 12 months, but they're welcome to stay for 18. We actually encourage it because we want to help them with the job, then to teach them the difference between wants and needs and saving up money so that they can get a vehicle and that they can be on solid ground when they leave, where if something comes up in life, which we all have stuff come up in life, that they can have a little nest egg so it doesn't send them spiraling right back downwards again. So we help them. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely great stuff. Yeah. Absolutely great stuff. Debbi Hanna is on with us. We're talking about Beauty for Ashes. Check out their website, b4ashes.com. And, this is the kind of program that, we kind of take our eyes off of, because so many people now look for the government for assistance and the government for the rescue, and you've got people that are broken, and then they just kind of fall sort of consumed by the system. And your approach here is a very nice formula that kind of like it's a very fast track, which I like very much, very quick. There's no reason to waste a lot of time. You're going to get in and do the work and move forward, because sometimes you just can't help certain people. And a lot of what you do is voluntary, but let's talk about how many folks have you helped so far? It's only been since 2016. How many folks have you already helped? And, where are you at in your vision over the next couple of years?
Okay. So we have helped 21 ladies so far. And actually one of them that just recently graduated after a year and a half, just about the halfway point. But, the year and a half right up to it. It was 1 month short of that. But anyway, she ended up under the guidance and, with the accepting, that we wanted to help her on the finances end, and she would run things by us. Is this a want or a need? And then we helped her to gain purpose in life again, that she was able to find a job. First of all, she got her CNA license, was able to find a job, worked up enough to pay off all of her fines, and then buy a car, get her license back, buy a car, and then left still with money in the bank. And I think that the greatest part of all of that really is the gaining of a purpose in life again, that you're not dependent on government or anybody else to give you purpose in life, that you are taking care of yourself, you're providing, you're a contributor. And so that's one of our greatest successes, and where we want each woman to gain this new vision of themselves and leave with this security. And all of that being founded in Jesus Christ, that He has created each one of us for a purpose, and that we have something to offer society.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's Psalm 16, I think it's verse 11, talks about fill me with your joy. And, when you have joy, you tend to just be able to endure more. And when you don't have a Christian background, when you've fallen away, when you run from God like I have, and you get that joy, you start to realize that the roller coaster ride of life is actually a pretty smoother ride. You're going to go through peaks and valleys and ups and downs and sideways and turns you upside down from time to time, but at the same time, it's funny, there was an old roller coaster analogy I used to make, and my kids used to laugh because we used to go to Busch Gardens, and there was like the smooth, fast roller coasters, and like the Montu kind of ride, where it's like a track and it's very smooth. Then there's these old school wooden roller coasters that shake you and toss you around. Even if you didn't go upside down, you all vibrate. I said, that's really the difference of how life becomes with or without that joy. How is that for you now, Debbie? Now you have this call. You feel like you have this purpose now. How has things like that changed for you now?
Wow. That's such a good correlation that you made right there, because honestly, we all have a past, and from my life before, I was definitely on that old wooden roller coaster, and life was pretty painful. And now when you're focusing on the vision and the purpose that God has given you, there's a lot of things that happen along the way, but this is one of the things we try to teach the ladies too, is that all these happenings in life, can determine whether you feel happy or not. But when you have the Spirit of the Lord in you, you can go through these other things and still have a peace, a joy that surpasses all understanding. And that's what I feel right now, is that I really am going through, believe me, there's still some bumpy roads. But I have this peace and this joy in my life from day to day that only comes through Jesus Christ. And I want these women to experience that too, to know that even when they go through their next bad place in life, they're going to lose loved ones. They're going to have things happen in life.
Sure.
But they can still hold on to that peace and that joy.
Folks, this is a group that is, privately funded. So they need your donations. They need your help. There's that information there on the B4Ashes.com website. They need your financial support. But I got to be honest, first and foremost, they need your prayers. Please, Debbie and Jim, they need your prayers. They need you to be mindful, jot it down, Beauty for Ashes, and reach out. Maybe you're not in the Bradenton, Sarasota area, but maybe Debbie has some insight on, what's in your community, things that you can do differently, organizations that are in your area. Maybe you need to mentor somebody. Maybe you just need to jot them a quick little note just to encourage them and let them know, because ministry's tough, and this is a ministry, and we definitely want to do what we can to support them. Debbie, is there any other way to contact you or any other information that folks might need to help support your group?
Well, they can go through the website, but I do, and then I'll say one more. I have one more thing that I just want to add that's really, really important to Beauty for Ashes and for us to get out there. With this new Beauty for Ashes cleaning service opening up, we really believe that God is going to bless it and that we're going to be able to use the funds. All of the funds go right back into Beauty for Ashes. We pay the ladies, and then all the funds go back into the Beauty for Ashes program, and that we're going to be able to in the future, purchase a home rather than living in a rental. And our dream and goal is to open another home through this too. And we just really believe this is the way that God will give us the ability to take this even farther. So
that's it. That's great. We got to jump on board and support this organization. B4Ashes.com. We will link to that if you're listening to the YouTube or you're catching the online article. Please just reach out and pray and support this group as you can. Debbie, thank you again for your time. I love fitting this in. Thank you so much.
Okay, and thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll have them edit right there. That seems like a great close. You're doing okay.